everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of November the 1st to the 7th. Let's get started here and see what major themes we have for Gemini. Enlightenment, flow, and blessings. Okay, so those are your themes for the week, Gemini. And I'm feeling like you need to connect up to your higher chakras this week. So we're looking for activation of the crown, third eye, and throat chakra here. And I feel like you're going to be receiving messages, and it's sort of going to be an important week for you to quiet the mind so that you can hear those messages, so that you can understand what things are holding you back, what things are blessings, and sort of like understanding the difference between the blessings in your life and the things that are holding you back. And then finding some sort of flow between those so that you can find balance. I feel like it's a week of realignment for you here. Now, what will support you? Having faith in your dreams. Balance the spiritual with the practical. Yep. And prosperity does lie ahead. So for you this week, Taurus, or not Taurus, sorry, this is a new moon in Taurus, made me say Taurus. Gemini. For you, Gemini, it seems like it's going to be important for you to really balance out the spiritual with the practical and to be in flow. So I feel like you're going to need both. You're going to need both, and you're going to need to be in the flow of that. So it's going to be important to take that time to find stillness so that you can understand and not react. I feel like that's going to be important for you this week. And having faith in your dreams is really going to be important as you move forward looking at blessings. But I was going to put this with that. No, it goes with enlightenment. The idea of having faith in your dreams, I feel like you need to tap into some wisdom. And this wisdom dwells deep within you, Gemini. And it's time to understand it more clearly and to have faith in it realizing itself. I feel like the blessings you're going to experience are going to be in this prosperity lies ahead. I feel like whatever it is that Gemini is working on, creating, there is an ending and a beginning here. Something is closing, something is beginning. Prosperity does lie ahead, but you need to have faith in your dreams and to tap into spirit. So you need to sort of flow between spirituality and practicality as you move forward this week so that you can sort of have a balanced perspective, all the while keeping that faith in your dreams and keeping the channels open for any sort of enlightenment when it comes to sort of discerning and having the understanding of what is holding you back and what motivates you. And having just a mindful look at everything to sort of turn that autopilot off. Now, what will support you? What frequencies will support you? Ooh, magic, delight, and the Merkaba. Okay, these are beautiful frequencies for you. Let's start with magic. Magic. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment and move forward toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. Yes, all that is required is our belief in their manifestation. And I feel like that is the enlightenment. That is the have faith in your dreams. This frequency of magic is going to come in to support you with respect to what can you imagine, right? I feel like the possibilities of your imagination are limitless, and that it's all something that can be realized and manifested, but it's the idea of your beliefs. That's why I was saying earlier, it's sort of like looking at your motives, looking at the belief systems you hold to see, do these things support you, or are they actually just holding you back? Are they creating freedom, or are they creating a tiny little prison for you to exist in that doesn't allow you to expand? Now, this Merkaba message is beautiful here. The frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to the Akashic and inheritance as well. Merging the totality of our experiences into the present to serve our highest purpose. And I feel like that is part of this prosperity lying ahead for you, in that your ability to tap into other lifetimes, other dimensions potentially, and other forms of reality, other layers of reality, and sort of bringing all of that in together. I feel like you are going to be sort of traveling, expansive traveling through your mind to understand some of these blessings and this prosperity that lies ahead. I feel is very much connected to your consciousness and your ability to quiet and silence the mind so that you can understand things on a different level, to the point where it's like almost a different dimension that you're going to be understanding your experience from. And this idea of delight really makes me think of this flow between spiritual and practical, because this frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. And I feel like you're going to find this frequency as you move towards the flow of spirituality, but that practicality is still necessary here for you. And I feel like as a Gemini, you're going to delight in both. And I feel like that's why you're receiving this message of the frequency of delight, because it will support your ability to create as you move forward, in that will be your signpost. That will be your guide, both spiritually and practically. We need a direction. We need a place to head into, somewhere that is the light that we're reaching for. And I feel like for you, that's going to be this delight, that as you reach for your prosperity, it's going to be necessary for you to feel that inner peace. That inner delight, not from the external world as much as it will come from yourself. It will be something that you are attaining for yourself. And I feel like to get there, it's going to involve some enlightenment, some magic. It's going to involve considering all kinds of new ways of thinking, to the point where you might be trying to sort of access other realms of reality and dimension through this Merkaba frequency, where in your meditations, which, this could be the sign you've been waiting for to say, it's time to begin a meditative practice, where you're trying to access, the wisdom that your soul holds, in that other dimension that it has traveled through that Akashic inheritance that this card speaks of, where you're sort of merging all of your experiences, not just from this lifetime, but all of your soul's experiences, to bring in all that wisdom to help you have faith in your dreams and move towards it, right? With that magic. I love this frequency of magic, where it all starts with your belief. It all starts with your inner belief system. Now, let's see what messages we get from the tarot cards for you, Gemini. Okay, lots of swords right away. This is causing mental conflict. This is causing mental conflict. And your biggest obstacle right now is kind of yourself here, Gemini. I really feel like you're creating the obstacle a little bit here for yourself, because you're very strategic. You're very intellectual and very strategic. And that's why we need to balance the spiritual and the practical. That's why you need to be in flow with, think about focusing on where you feel inner peace, or where you feel that sense of delight. this is the idea, and the idea of the perspective that you hold. Do you believe that this dream of yours is possible in the first place? Because if you don't believe it's possible and you're the narrator of the story or the director of the movie, then, then we have an obstacle here. And I feel like that's where it's being created. It's being created on the mental level and logic, right? In you're too strategic, almost too practical, which is why we need to add that spirituality. And there's also this idea, like I was just saying, that it's not going to come from an external source. Six of Wands in reverse. That validation, that inner peace, that sense of delight is going to be felt on an inner level. It won't be because people are recognizing you and giving you praise and giving you all this external validation. That's not going to be it this time, Gemini. This is going to be on an inner level. And the whole thing driving this reading right now is that you're still a little bit in resistance to change your daily life. There's sort of a mental roadblock here for you. This Knight of Swords represents you, Gemini, and it's in reverse. And whenever I see the sign I'm reading for their tarot energy in reverse, I always think that means, again, you're your biggest obstacle. Like I said when the swords first came out, you're your biggest obstacle right now, because if you don't have faith in your dreams, if you don't balance the practical and the spiritual, and if you don't believe that prosperity lies ahead, then you're not in flow with the blessings, right? You're not in flow. You're not in balance. You're resisting. Your energy is in opposition to what wants to come to you. And so you will stay at a standstill then, likely, Gemini. You won't be able to find forward movement if you're not in flow with the path that's sort of been laid out here. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you can hear it calling. I feel like you can hear it calling your name, but will you answer? There's the Queen of Swords right under the King of Swords in reverse. You've got so much energy here. You're not certain. In the recent past, you really felt unclear, uncertain. Should I go? Should I? You felt unclear, not so much with should you go for it or not, even though that was a part of it. It's almost like an inner uncertainty. You started to question your own convictions. And again, like I said, you're your own obstacle right now. And your level of uncertainty is holding back the manifestation, because if you don't believe it's possible, then, and again, you're writing the story, and if you're writing it's not possible, then it's not possible. So whatever you believe you can achieve, or whatever you believe you can't achieve, in either situation, you're correct. So it has to start with you on an inner level. Yeah, and I feel like it's going to hold you back from initiating something that is coming to you. It's like Spirit is giving you a gift to begin something, and you're caught up with your thoughts about it still. And you're highly intellectual, you're highly strategic, and you're able to make mental shifts as you need to, but you are looking for evidence. I feel like you're looking for evidence that this will work. You're looking for the path before you get on it. And it doesn't work that way. You sort of have to take that time, again, to reflect on the wisdom of your experiences. And right now, it's like you're sort of hiding from that. You're denying yourself this delight. You're denying it to yourself, Gemini. And I feel like you could choose it, but you have to choose it on an inner level first. Yeah, there's something that you need to get distance from mentally that you're not. There's so many swords on the table here. I feel like there's some healing that needs to happen from something that has probably felt like a wound for a long time. And it might be something you've carried with you into this lifetime. But that, you're feeling this sort of inability to walk away from something. And maybe it's that practical side of you that just can't let go. It can't let go of the physical, or whatever reward you're getting from your current path. You're unable to let go of it. I was going to say physical rewards, but I almost feel like it's a mental reward. It's a mental reward. It's like you have convinced yourself of something here, Gemini, that it's not serving you, but you've convinced yourself that if you let go of it, that will be worse somehow. And I think it's just like seeing that Knight of Swords there. I really think it's just a fear. That Knight of Swords in reverse is saying to me that you are afraid of any sudden changes that could come along to change your life. You want change, but you're also afraid of what the change will bring with it, right? This disorganization is too much for you. And that's why I was going to say maybe physically you've become quite attached to whatever dynamic you're existing in right now. You've developed an attachment to it, and it's feeling difficult to let go of. Yeah. Your greatest wish for yourself is this inner peace, 4 of Wands, but you're also afraid of what that will cost you, which is an interesting way to frame inner peace. And that, does it have a cost? But it might have a cost in your mind, because there's something that needs to be let go of. Something needs to change. Something needs to shift. We need to put the mindset of delight in our sights here. And I feel like you're hanging on to some self-limiting beliefs. You're hanging on to some beliefs, and maybe you don't even recognize them as being self-limiting at this time. But your perceptions need to shift first before you will obtain this inner peace on an sort of an inner reward level. You know what I mean? But it's there. It's right there. Yeah, Justice in reverse. It's up to you to decide what is good, what is bad, what is virtuous, what is not. And I feel like that's the big problem, is that maybe you're overthinking this. You could be overthinking the outcomes and then finding it very difficult to take a decision. And as a result, you're sort of just hiding out. You're not really looking at your experience in order to heal from it. You're looking at it, and it's almost like, I keep getting this in my mind, that it's almost like you re-victimize yourself every time you look at it, because you're not looking at it in a way that's impartial. You're looking at it in a way where you're evaluating, right? You're not just going back to look at something to observe it, to understand it. You're looking at it and evaluating it and making a judgment about it and saying, that was wrong, this was right, that was wrong, this was right. And it's almost this idea that I don't blame you almost. If you're going to look at it in that way, no wonder you're sort of not looking at it with the excitement that it could bring in change that is prosperous. I feel like you're looking at it and saying, I will be in a state of loss. It's almost like you need a leap of faith here. There's so much sword on here. I feel like you're overthinking this, You're overthinking it. And where's the feeling? How do you feel about this? It's not just about what you think. And I can almost feel like this, I can't let go energy. And it's just, I feel like there's something just like on your doorstep that is a huge blessing, but it's going to involve you taking a leap of faith and having faith in your dreams, like we saw in this card, and also believing that it's possible. I think I'm going to leave it at that for you, Gemini. Believe it's possible. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email is in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, Gemini.